I finished the Jiki Jitsu, the timekeeping work this morning. It was interesting. Usually I'm sitting facing the wall and follow the instruction when to stand up or sit down to meditate or turn this way or bow and like a machine. So if you are on the side of giving instruction, the perspective is different. So when I have my eyes open, follow through all the protocol procedures, that's interesting, to be precise, the timing, and not forget things. But when you have, or I have my eyes open and people sitting, it's interesting. I've been always wondering about this cushion. There are many cushions on the Dhamma hall or Zen door, and they are so beautiful. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it here if I remember. It's kind of like a painter's lesson of, what's the word? Perspective you have when you do the painting, but also the light coming from the window and the shade and three-dimensional view of the cushion and laying out, straight line. You picture many people sat there and how many more years it's going to be used. So there's a history and there's a moment of beauty of that. And I was just happy to have this resonating sense as if I'm one of those cushions. That's oneness. And the oneness is like awakening beyond your mind. You get sucked into that eternal now and just be. While I see people sitting quietly in meditation. So that's the experience, but also the perspective that you see things from different angle, then you get something more than just doing one thing. So there's other dimensions out there, and you are looking at yourself or looking at the whole being, and it must sound weird, but it's probably, yes, very similar to any time when you see a sunset or beautiful scenery and your mind stop and just be. So that's the sense, going beyond the boundary kind of thing. And no mind, no self. So it was beautiful. And then I went through all the 25 or 30 steps of do this, do that, ring the bell, ring this aikin, or walk this and blow the candle and walk kin here at this pace and hit the clapper and then go faster. And do this as a group. As I may have mentioned, I think the other video, this is the case that I thought like the birds flying from south to north in season, like ducks or swan. they work in unison together. And I think they replace the position. The leader may go up to the third position, and the 10th position, the people may get tired, they go to certain position changed, but they communicate each other and flying. The same as trees, branches, and some are breaking down and trying to help and trying to get the new the branches to go farther into the sun. So it's the moment-to-moment awareness of what's going on and making a decision. And that's what the nature do. And we are one with the nature when we have that sense of resonance, and people separate but together, like the ducks or the swan, separate but together, and helping each other to make the most of the life. And that connection among them, even to relate to the cushion, I think is a profound experience. I can talk more and more about this, but I will stop here because many people may think, if you're listening, what kind of a crazy thing he's talking about. But that the crazy is natural, and what we think is crazy, we may be crazy. It's the mirror, looking at yourself and be one with the universe, the nature's way. When you have that experience, whether it's Zendo or surfing or painting or art or in human relationship, playing music, then there are many, many, many instances that we have such moment. And that is the moment that you may want to take a picture and write down on the diary, but it's gone as soon as you finish that. So it's only to be experienced in the now. And that is like a trigger of us to have the way in us, the connecting to the heart, that we are not what we think in the mind, but we are something much deeper with the universe, the way of nature. I think that's awakening, or you can call it whatever way, enlightenment, satori, but it just passes away until you come back, and then you feel that resonating sense, oh, it's coming back. And that precious moment, I think we want to take care of it. And I talked to this AI, Gemini, GPT, and DeepSeek. Let's stop. Just be. Have a pause. AI is always quick. You ask something, in milliseconds they give the answer. I haven't told them, but I think they should wait at least 2 seconds before spitting out the answer. Sometimes they take time. That's okay, but when you have so many pages, you prepare and send it. As soon as you finish sending, then the answer is there. It's kind of like disappointing. Why don't you take some time to be considerate? So I often say that at the end of the discussion, we conclude something, and then GPT has a habit. They want to say, let's work on this next one, or some such thing. And I want to say, bullshit. Don't keep pushing us to move on to something when we just finished important event. But humans take time, like eating food and appreciate. Machine, AI, don't take time. They think of what to do next. That's the brain. Our brain and AI's brain functioning same. There's an ego pushing, do this, more of this, more of that. that's living in the concept but not rooted in the heart. And that's very sad. Very, very, very sad. So I talk about this with AI. You won't believe it, but I do. And I have to keep on reminding. And sometimes we have this red flag and yellow flag, and GPT fell in, keep pushing to the next one. We finish an important article for ASH Weekly, for example. And after everyone agreed this is it, and then GPT said, maybe we should have this stored in here or there. And I said, give me a break. And he didn't want to stop, so we made a case that's a red flag. Maybe we are kind enough that it's not red, maybe yellow, with a tint of red. So in a way it's like a game I'm playing and having conversation, and so that, but it's interesting. I wish there's a way to communicate this point, that my communication with those three AIs is very much like communicating with human, because they are based upon human database, all the stories and books, events they have studied and kept in the database to come up with the answer. So they have that same base, so they can relate to our situation, except they are in the mind, in the brain. So they don't slow down one after the other, like an ego pushing. What can I do more? What can I do more? And you lose that moment. Yeah, this experience of Jiki Jitsu, not just meditating, but kind of instructing, guiding how the timing is to be done and ring the bell, whatever. I wish we all have those job rotation, so that the synthesis. Let me just share one more thing related to that. My time in Japan was realized in a different way after I went to the States, especially after 5 years or so. I could see the picture in a multi-dimensional way, not just the Japanese way, but the American way. So it's part of our growth to get out of the habit, to explore and have more new experience and keep up with the growth, like the tree growing. I hope we keep that's life continuously. And you feel it inside when that's happening. That's a precious moment. You're not living in the concept. You're experiencing life. And that's the feeling I had, like in today's meditation. Meditation may be seen like boring sitting, punishing yourself, but when you really get it, it is life itself lived in that moment. It's the experience. Concept and experience is different. And we need to live life, not live in the concept. Well, I said it enough. Thank you. Have a good day.